Hi, everyone. Welcome to Digital Experience. This is our iteration retro ending on today, Thursday, December 15th. We'll go over some of the things that came up this iteration, things that went well and things to improve on. So first up, we have a thing to bring up by John. He's working async out of Malta, so I will vocalize his point here. But he's talking about highlighting the possibility of having a centralized image bucket or server where we can store images used across multiple digital experience projects. It would improve certain important things, in his opinion. And he goes on to talk about images that are duplicated, such as the infinity image across buyer experience. It's hard to only have one image without duplication, as we have 4 different working groups, and we do not spend time searching if an image already exists across those folders in Next Images folder. If we have a centralized bucket, I think this can be possible to handle that solution using folder structuration, naming conventions, and EY gallery. Oh, I see Barker jumping in. Do you want to get to that point and then I can keep going?
Yeah, I'm gonna vocalize. Yeah, looks like we have some cleanup to do in buyer experience to remove these duplicated images. So we'll create an issue in our repository health epic and get that actioned over the next iteration.
Yeah, and he also says, following that last point, as we add more and more images, duplicated ones, the size of the project will increase accordingly. If we send all those images to a centralized bucket or server, the project will be lighter than it is now. We have projects that work as libraries, such as navigation and slippers. Showing images in these projects is really complex, as the images should be handled by Webpack in order to show them. Using the images as external files fixes these issues. I know there are cons of using these types of servers, but in my opinion, I believe that having one would improve the way we're handling images today. Thank you. So his speech is done. Miguel, I see that you have a point in there. Do you want to go ahead?
Yeah, no, just mostly agree because we have a project size that's quite big and it's hitting performance. So we've been doing lots of improvements towards reducing that project size, and that could help a lot. I think Javi has a point. Do you want to vocalize it?
Sure. I was just asking what an MVC would look like, and if an MVC is not possible, what could a step change look like for something like this?
I don't know about an MVC, but I remember that we talked about this with Tyler, and he mentioned that since we are already using GCP services all over GitLab, we could use the cloud storage buckets, I believe it's called, which is the equivalent. So it's just a service that hosts static objects. Yeah.
I got the next. First, we need this for the blog images. That folder alone is what drags down the pipeline in the dub repo. That's why our pipeline takes, I don't know, 30 minutes to deploy something to production. Every time the pipeline runs, we have to process all thousands of images. So getting those out of there onto a S3 bucket would be awesome. And then also, we've explored this in the past. It's been an ongoing conversation since I've been here. And every time we start making progress towards it, it doesn't happen for some reason. So I've linked to 3 issues there for as far as we've gotten. We would probably need, our systems have changed since then, so we'd probably need a new issue to figure out what the best solution would be for us. Megan.
Yeah, and wanted to plus one. I hope we can have something like this soon. It's exciting. But I know looking ahead to the 2023 OKRs and goals, with having a CMS possibly, maybe whatever solution is picked for that might have their own bucket that or preference of bucket tools to use. So that's just something to keep in mind.
Thank you for bringing up that CMS. That is on our fiscal year 24 plan, and this would play into that while we make those decisions.
Like the only downside with the CDN image thing, it's not a downside, I think it's actually a great idea, is the work we do with like a next image. We'd have to then redo some of that work to like tie into that CDN better, because it likes local images, but it's not a big thing.
I created an action item at the bottom that maybe we can start with an issue and bring that discussion there, especially with John being in Malta. We can work async on discussion points and thoughts. But yeah, hopefully we can look at a solution for that. So I can create kind of a blank issue for that, and we can continue the discussion. I think, are we good to move on to things that went well? I have the first point here on the same topic with John being on the other side of the planet. We've had our first couple of meetings in like truly really different time zones. And so thanks to Lauren and the team for arranging meetings around that and trying to be as inclusive as we can so that we still get some face time with each other and then working asynchronously when we don't. And then also I noticed that last week in Montreal with Barker, Michael, and Justin, being in Montreal, and me and Nathan, most of the leadership team was gone last week. Javi wasn't there. Like, you know, we really abandoned a lot of people. So thanks to everyone who kept the fort, holding the fort, kept the fort down. I don't know, but the terms, thank you all. There were no fires that I saw, so that was cool. Any last thoughts?
I have something to improve on. More funny Giphies in Slack for our team.
The duck used for our team's search and support sprint that like ran across the finish line, so good. We should just watch that on repeat. Like, gifts are done. We found the perfect gift, and it's that duck.
Yeah.
I also
Now we have just one mascot for the whole team, so it's a big responsibility.
I also want to say that for the people who were in Montreal, we had to switch teams with field marketing. I guess I can stop the recording here, but I'll finish my story. We had to switch teams with field marketing. So we had to learn what that team did and try to improve sales pipeline. And Javi was our senior director of field marketing. He went up and did our presentation, and it was comedy. He had people laughing. He had people crying. He had people in their feelings. You know, they really appreciated our solutions. Yeah, Javi is promoted. Change your title. Okay, I'm gonna finish recording.